problem, and we are jumping into game number 8 here any second, guys. And let's see what civilizations they are picking. I want to see some Malay harbors as well, but we will find out. So we are starting with Tito playing the Vikings. We have him going for the right hand side, as it seems. Then we have Idefix going here to the north. He's playing the Portuguese. On the left hand side we have two players actually. We have Olaf with the Portuguese, and pretty close by we have Spring with Koreans. And the south we have Jacont playing with the Koreans. With me will be Nobody 41. And you said you wanted to see Koreans, and two players grant you that wish.
Yeah, we have two Korean players, two Portuguese player, one Viking player, and no Malay player. I would have loved to see the Malay docks go up and those harbors just shoot tons of arrows. It's a great way to obtain map control, and of course they don't cost any population space. But sadly, we won't see that this game.
Yeah, we will see how this will play out. I added them to see all those harbors. Yeah, you cannot build too many close by. Wonder, but yeah, that's what we are fighting for, the monument here in the middle. And it is a big problem here. Purple and red, Spring and Olaf very close together.
Yeah, they're going to have to go at it nice and early. We have so Koreans and Portuguese here. The Portuguese are definitely going to have an advantage early on compared to the Koreans. The Koreans only hit their own once they have a really nice economy going for themselves and can actually get out those turtle ships. Otherwise, the Koreans are pretty much useless compared to the Portuguese early game.
Well, let's see how this will all play out. And I wanted to see a lot of demos here as well. Tato going for the Vikings. Will he try to go for only longbows, or what will his approach be?
I think longbow is definitely the strongest choice for the Vikings. The longboats have a little bit extra movement speed compared to the other ships, which is usually why you go for them. They also build much faster. So those are the benefits of the longboats. The Vikings' game plan, though, is probably to save a bit of resources and maybe play up to the long game, where the Koreans is just going to be burning through all their gold with those turtle ships. And the Vikings can definitely save a lot of resources with their bonus.
Yeah, so love that. And I believe they also do a bit more damage there, and especially like doing some splash damage. That's super sweet for them. And yeah, I want to see how people are trying to approach this. Tito already scouted quite a bit of his right hand side corner. Let's take a look. We see Idefix getting lots of vision. We see Olaf, he knows that Spring could be around there. Spring scouting quite a bit here as well, trying to start to wall. Not sure how experienced he will be with those settings. And Jacont in a super safe place as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Love Dracon's position. I love Idefix's position and Tato's position. The only player I don't love is, of course, Spring and Olaf. One of these players will probably have to go out nice and early. We'll have to see which player it is. Spring definitely probably with the skill advantage. Do you know what Olaf's skill is?
Well, he's roughly 1750 on Wobbly 1v1, so he can hold a fight, especially if it comes to like water and going for fire galleys. I believe Spring should be super experienced on those scenarios as well.
Yeah, but then again, we did talk about the civilizations as well. Do these players know that they are next to each other?
I believe they do, but I'm not 100% sure. We can switch into their point of views again. Olaf, well, he did scout around quite a bit, and he's already walling quite a bit, so he's fearing some Ben at least.
Yeah, Olaf has not scouted Spring at this point, but Spring has scouted Olaf's dock. So Olaf is trying to not take any risks here by walling. He's got a nice wall with his dock here. I've never seen that before, using the dock as part of the wall. But he's not taking any risks, but he doesn't actually know Spring is there.
Yeah, and that's actually a pretty beautiful wall here by Olaf. He has a lot of map control for himself there. Protected gold, protected wood lines now as well. His fish in the back would be quite nice. And using a fishing ship to scout more of that area, I like how he's handling that.
I do too as well. He's done himself a lot of favors with these walls. It's a good thing he's put the initiative into that, despite not even scouting Spring. Spring is going to be the first player up to the feudal age, though, which means we will see a feudal rush from him. 3 on gold for now, and we should see some galleys or some fire galleys coming out.
Well, let's take a look. He is at 500 food, so maybe this is just a fast castle build-up, because how heavily he still is on food, this doesn't feel like a normal Grush PO here.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that surprises me. He's going up really early, and he's going to have tons of food. He has a lot of fishing ships out, and yeah, he could definitely go for a fast castle.
Yeah, I think he shouldn't add more fishing ship, because now he's running pretty low on wood and needs that 325 wood to click up. And yeah, looks like Tatoa has a pretty strong start there. Look at that, already 10 pop ahead.
Wow, that is such a huge advantage for him. Going back to spring, you're right. He's going to be low on food, low on wood. Out of all the resources you think about for the fast castle, wood is definitely the one that you think the least about having enough for those 2 extra buildings.
And one thing that I didn't expect, no one actually passed the Wonder at the start, so the Wonder isn't actually starting to time down. So this game could go quite long, since yeah, it only starts to count when someone sees it first.
Well, none of the players started with these scouts, so I mean, it is quite unlikely that they didn't pass with it all their starting villagers and such. But at this stage, there's really no reason to go over there because you're going to have to idle a villager or a fishing ship.
Edit comment co-caster nobody 41. And yeah, so now that is updated. And yeah, I'm excited to see how players will try to play this out. No one else is walling. That's a bit surprising to me. Everyone is kind of in their corners here. But let's take a look. Spring is going for wheelbarrow. Is he getting a market? So far I can't see it. And only now trying to go for it. So he will float a lot of resources before he's actually clicking up.
Yeah, Spring was the first to get to the next stage, but he kind of messed up his build a bit, forgetting about all that wood, and now he's only going up the market now. I'm also looking at Olaf. Olaf has actually completed these walls. These are the most beautiful walls I've seen, using the dock as part of the wall twice.
Yeah, that's pretty well done here. And yeah, that's the only way to be completely walled, to use a dock there. Some people only wall towards the water and feel like, yeah, they're safe, but yeah, ship can just pass in there.
So it looks like Spring will be the first to the Castle Age. However, Tato is going to be up to the Castle Age also, and Spring is only on 17 villagers because he idled this TC quite a bit, while Tato is going to go up on 25 villagers.
Yeah, that's horrible. Like, honestly, it's basically the same timing. He is a solid 8 villagers and 8 fishing ship behind, plus wheelbarrow. So those ecos aren't even comparable.
Olaf coming out with the first military of the game. He's coming out with some fire ships. Let's see what he sees. He's going to find Spring for the first time this game, and he's going to run straight into the town center.
Oh, that's a good start for Spring. See, the fire galley can now start to produce. Actually, he queued up a transporter there, but now fixing that. But he's heavily housed.
Yeah, and Spring's going to get picked off of his main gold. The ships do so much damage to villagers, especially early on, but it's really impossible to be able to fight these out. Normally, an opponent starts to come out with a scout or something, or an archer, and you could fight it off with villagers. But here, you really can't do anything against ships.
Yeah, okay, so let's see how Spring will try to approach this. Only 4 villagers on gold isn't enough to really keep a constant fire galley production here. Cannot really get onto fast fires either. So, interesting.
Might be worth it for Spring to drop down one of those Korean guard towers on his main gold if he can't defend himself, and I think that might be what keeps him in the game for the time being.
The thing is, now he will build a TC, so no more stone for first tower.
Yeah, that's his decision he's made. He's going to come out with a few fire galleys of his own. Luckily, I don't see too much aggression from Olaf. He's not really building too much. Maybe he's just waiting for that Castle Age upgrade.
Yeah, he is sitting back, doesn't want to make too many enemies here, but he should have a lot of gold banked up. Look at how many villagers he has on gold, and nice amount of villagers on food as well. He should have a pretty strong boom.
Alright, so let's see what upgrades we see coming from Olaf. Olaf has 3 docks compared to the 1 of Spring, I believe. But I'm not really seeing any upgrades come in either, so I'm a little confused by Olaf's strategy.
He's floating a lot of resources at the moment, not getting the upgrades here. That's a bit surprising as well. Dracount actually the first one to go for the war galley upgrade here. And yeah, opening the tech tree for the fast fire ships here in Castle Age.
Yeah, my question for Drakant is he going to focus on going to the left side where Spring and Olaf are first, or is he going to go for Tato first? Tato, by the way, coming out with some longboats.
Yeah, the first one to go for the middle now. And you saw that he was rushing towards the middle instantly. So he doesn't want to get this game to the 2-hour mark. He wants to make use of his longboats in mid-Imperial Age, as it seems.
Well, Tato is currently the score leader in the game right now, so he figures I have an advantage now. Why not just go for the monument now since I have this advantage now? Maybe I won't have it later on.
Well, yeah, let's see about that. And Idefix now going for War Galley upgrade as well. And this is, yeah, I would say less aggressive game than I would have anticipated. I felt like two players close to each other, we could have seen madness, but they're trying to, yeah, give themselves a reasonable position to go into the late game here as well.
If Water Nomad has taught me anything, is we're going to see madness definitely, because just how quickly and how open, like the map is extremely open, and how quickly ships can kill villages, especially like demolition ships. We will see madness, trust me.
Okay, I'm trusting you. And yeah, now on to 524 years, so very long game ahead of us. Tato trying to micro sum against Drakant here. Obviously doesn't have ballistics, so now going for Botkin arrow. And I'm not 100% sure how those longboats now will perform against all the army of Drakant. He has better numbers at the moment.
Well, the good thing about the Vikings longboat is if Tato doesn't like this engagement, he can simply run away. The longboat, again, is the fastest, one of the faster ship units on the water.
Yeah, so let's take a look. Trying to micro a bit, trying to micro to the side as well. And Tato taking quite a nice engagement. Didn't get a lot of kills, but did deal some nice amount of damage here. And yeah, they are so much easier to micro than the war galleys.
Tato right now is looking like an absolute beast. If you look at the map control of him, he's just starting to spread out all across the right side of the map, and he's even pushing in on Drakant as well.
And getting some sweet kills, and I'm not 100% sure what the best strategy is, but wow, he's saving all his longboats there, and a solid 6-2 KD already here.
Yeah, definitely. And if Drakant loses any ground at all, again, the longboats can be absolutely deadly against villagers, which basically have nowhere to run. The town centers hardly provide any covering fire.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, like, obviously longboats outrange the town centers as well, and oh, even going for demo ships here behind that is Tato. So he anticipated a switch for Drakant, but that one didn't happen.
I think Tato just loves demo ships. He just loves adding them in. But here they come. They're going to go for the town center. No, okay. We go for the war galleys, and not that great.
Well, did get some damage done.
Some damage, yes.
Okay.
You know, on the top left side, still not too much happening. It looks like they're just going to boom up. Spring and Olaf they're just buddies right now. They're not going to really attack each other.
Yeah, seems pretty fair and unaggressive so far. Populations, everyone pretty even when it comes to boom. 48 the lowest, 63 the highest. That is a pretty good boom here for Olaf, who has a lot of farms already.
Here comes Idefix with his navy. He's got a mix of fire ships and war galleys. He's going to go take the monument. Let's see which opponent he's going to choose to attack first. Tato obviously is the score leader by far.
Yeah, he already did break the 100 pop mark, and now going for even the kind of late upgrades there. Gold shaft mining, trying to go for some more raids against Drakant, and he is in a pretty good spot. Has so much map control and all the nice units already out.
Tato killing 4 villagers of Drakant on his gold mine. Going to move away from that. And again, just the longboat, such a great raiding unit on Water Nomad.
Yeah, and let's see how he will continue to play this out. He has a nice amount of gold spots, still getting a lot of fish, building more docks at the front, gives him the option to, yeah, just reposition all his nice fishing ship. At the same time, Idefix around, and he has a lot of Portuguese ship here with so much HP as well.
Yeah, going into the late game, the Portuguese going to be able to get out their caravels, which can shoot through units. Not that many choke points on this map, so I don't know how useful they'll be. But that extra HP and the extra armor will definitely pay off for the Portuguese later on.
Extra armor even?
Yeah, from the unique tech.
Ah, sweetie, okay. Now the first real big engagement here, Tito against Drakon. Not 100% sure why he is taking this one. He has maybe a bit better numbers, but Tito is standing in so much more from the side here. Now going in with a patrol, and he will kill everything of Drakon.
Yeah, watching this fight, I think you can see the longboat's pretty comparable to the war galley in strength. However, Tato just has more resources to play with since he's Vikings. He has the better economy, and he can build his ships faster. So that's why we see so much more mass from Tato.
Yeah, but at the same time, Idefix now coming over. Joe needs to defend. They're not 100% sure if he should really push towards Drakon more or what he is trying to accomplish here. For now, he can hold on the right-hand side and still pressure on the left-hand side. So just look at the overall score for him as well.
Nili, turtle ship alert! Turtle ship alert! We have turtle ships from Spring. We have 4 coming out.
Oh boy! Okay. So, how expensive are they now? 160, 160 or something?
Yeah, 160, 160. They also get unique tech upgrade, which gives them extra speed.
Oh, 180, 180, it says here. So, a bit cheaper than in the original AOC, and they are obviously now incredibly strong. 200 HP, solid defense, and 50 damage per shot. That's just so incredibly strong, man.
I hope one of these Korean players, Turkan or Spring, makes it out alive so we can actually see these things in action. I'm so excited about them.
Okay, so yeah, and then we will see, and that's exactly why I did choose all those civilizations with their, special units and melee. Sadly, we won't see any harbors this game, but we will see probably caravans as well, and how are they called? Not caravans.
Caravel.
Ah, Caravel, yeah, that makes more sense. Turtle ships and longboats all in one game. Oof.
So Tata's really focused on defeating Drakon. Tata's now up to 53 military. Jeez. That's huge for this stage of the game. And Drakon is over at 24 military, so over double military for Tata.
Yeah, and he is pushing him. Did miss control for a small second, and it's surprising to me that he goes up to pop 160 here without going to Imperial Age at the same time. So that's pretty heavy on the Castle Age, only now clicking up, and we still have 400 years to go though.
Speaking of Imperial Age, we have Olaf going up into the Imperial Age. I think he's going to start researching his technologies. Obviously, Spring is going to be his first opponent, so these guys eventually will have to go to war. And huge massive turtle ships for Spring. I'm sorry, I'm just so excited about the turtle ships.
Yeah, but I honestly believe he built them maybe a bit too early. Just think about it, like it's still 400 years that he needs to mess them up. Maybe more map control, going for more gold spots would have been the better approach here, because now he has an incredibly strong army, but yeah, the others have the time to just dwindle him down slowly.
You know, I watched the last game of you play versus Spring in that last game that you guys played, and Spring really isn't very familiar with the expansions. He didn't get one of the unique techs for the Turks last game that he should have. I don't know if he knows about the new unique tech for the Koreans, giving them extra speed on the turtle ships.
Yeah, most likely not. Maybe we'll check it in game, but I would be surprised if we saw it before the game. And yeah, in general, like his experience on water maps isn't the greatest either. And Olaf still at the moment, his KD is 1-3. He isn't going for any attack and is playing it super defensively, and he indeed is going for Caravel here.
Meanwhile, Tata taking down the town center of Drakon. He's going to kill tons of villagers here. Drakon down to 70 villagers now, and really nothing to stop Tata from pushing in.
Oh man, and that's so ugly for Drakon. He's stuck in Castle Age as well, trying to hold on for dear life, and once Tito gets Imperial Age, can get Bracer, can get Elite Longbow, I believe Drakon could maybe even tap out. He's a guy who will always play till the last villager, but his chances of winning this game could be very slim.
Well, he has a bit of stone in the back. I would hope that maybe he would power up just a little bit with his strong Korean towers, or maybe Kato would focus on someone else or focus on the middle. Because normally in King of the Hill, you don't usually as much try to defeat the opponent as you do just try to weaken them, because you're always focused on the middle.
Well, but in this case, as I said before, the wonder started like a solid 12 to 15 minutes. Then we see in other games. Oh, now the big engagement left hand side here. Elite turtle ships of Spring coming over. Caravel have no idea how they will perform. Obviously, the front row instantly dying. It seems like Spring with his turtle ship will go on a pure rampage here.
Oh my god! Destruction! Yes! They are absolutely carrying through the Caravels. The Caravels are great at jump points, but they're not that much stronger than a galley otherwise.
Oh man, and yeah, Spring just going over, showing his turtle ships, and now going back, and that was just brutal. Olaf maybe rethinking his tip choice there.
Yeah, another thing, I looked into the civ tree, the tech trees of these civilizations. I was so excited about the turtle ships, and one of the best counters to a slow-moving unit like the turtle ship is going to be demolition ship. The Koreans are actually one of the only civs that don't get any demolition ship upgrades, and the Portuguese don't get any demo.
Ah, okay, and let's take a look at the middle here as well. Look at that, still 340 years, but Spring is ready to set himself up. Bomber towers around. And a lot of stone walls coming up for him as well. At the same time, the Count is trying to migrate off there with all his villagers. And Teto super aware and just trying to intercept both fronts of fleeing villagers.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolute massacre. A lot of the villagers, Drakon going down. Drakon's down to 62 villagers. Where is Drakon going? He's got nowhere to run.
Oh man, that's so brutal here. And yeah, even if he like gets some villagers that aren't catched off from Teto, he's instantly running into Spring, and as we saw before, Spring doesn't mind killing some units.
Spring doesn't mind killing some units. Yeah, that's to put it lightly.
Oh man, Drakon dropping down to pop 40 and now trying to do some reboom. And one thing we need to take care of obviously is who has what kind of rams. Teto has siege rams. Maybe Spring needs to go for some onagers to hold the middle here as well, because yeah, just killing all the army isn't what Spring wins the game for Spring. He also needs to have units on that stone ground there.
I was just checking the research, as Olaf is now teched into heavy demolition ship, so might have been wrong in that prediction, but or the Vikings don't get heavy demos like that. The Portuguese get heavy demos, so we should be seeing some of those from Olaf.
Let's take a look now. Spring is retreating after knowing that he's heavily outranged here. That's a big problem of the turtle ship. They need to close down the distance first, and they only have 6 range against now the 10 range of the elite caravel. And yeah, they look pretty strong here. Drakon now running over on the left hand side and running into Mal's caravel. He is down to pop 30. That's so brutal.
Oh man, they're just going down in lines. The bullets go straight through them. Oh my god, and we're going down to 20 population now.
Oh, poor Drakon. You all just boomed, yes. And yeah, it looks like it. Everyone boomed except Teto, who went for the kill against Drakon there. And at the moment he's looking at pop 20 only. It's looking so tough for him.
Meanwhile, we have a fight. Look at the huge fight in the middle. All the longboats of Kato and the siege rams as well, taking down a lot of the fortifications in the middle.
Yeah, and he just thought, okay, this is something I can clear up now. Let's do it before he can get SO out. And I'm looking into 20 bomber towers there. Just sending some rams. At the moment, yeah, Spring just has too much to the left-hand side. Too distracted by all the villagers of their count instead of defending the middle.
I have to be thinking for Spring, what might be more beneficial, bombard towers or keeps with that, what is it called? The upgrade that will do extra damage versus ships.
Heated shot. I believe still bombard towers. It's like 120 damage there, and they're so super efficient against those longboats.
Yeah, it looks like they do it pretty well actually. You know, on the left side, Spring is kind of having trouble with Olaf now. Olaf kind of made a little bit of choking points with these walls that he's built for himself. And he can actually position his caravels inside the gates here. How inventive is that?
And gates on water, that's so crazy. And let's take a look. Now Idefix is coming for the pocket for the middle here, and he can get some kills off. Obviously siege rams are super efficient against him. Heavy demo ship tech now for Teto as well though.
Yeah, I think these caravels at this stage, they're going to be doing massive damage against the longboats. They can fire straight through all of these units. And as you can see, Idefix just keeping up the army of Kato. The Rams would be a great addition, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. Then we have a three-way with Spring coming in on the left as well.
That's so crazy, everyone here in the middle, look at that, so many rams, so many turtle ships, caravels, and oh, that's only normal castle age caravels though, not elite so far. And Teto will lose all of his army as well, needs to regroup.
Have some heavy demo ships on the right as well. Idefix is coming in from the right too. And it's just battles everywhere now. This is getting crazy. What did I mention about the crazy?
Oh man, and that's just so loud as well. I think I need to decrease the sound volume here as well, because so many shots here around as well. Turtle ships just shooting and doing the damage. Look at that. He has 130 kills, but Teto already looking at 220 as well.
Yeah, great KD from those players. But KD's not really going to win you a game at King of the Hill. It's all about how you can get the most use out of the 200 population that you can get in the middle.
Yeah, and we still have 250 years to go. So at the moment, actually fighting for the middle isn't that important. It's still like if you can eliminate a guy, that's so much better. And Spring now getting attacked by Olaf here at the left hand side, and that's a lot of caravels as well.
Yeah, I think it's definitely beneficial to completely take out a player. Tato did a half-assed job on taking down Drakon, and Drakon is currently rebooming on the top and on the south. Drakon's somehow still alive in this. He's on 18 population, and Tato has completely forgot about him since he's been battling the other two players.
Well, how could he, like, yeah, in the south there are like 3 farmers, but that's not like the big reboom. The funny thing is that Drakon actually saved villagers and is now sitting between Idefix and Olaf here. That's so weird.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to hype it up a little bit. I hope Drakon wins.
Okay, let's take a look. Now heavy demos against all the turtle ships. Not 100% sure how much damage they will do. And they're just tickling all the turtle ships, but they cannot really run. So a lot of tickles are actually in the end doing something.
A lot of tickles eventually do some damage. Never heard that one before.
Okay, Spring now, very low on food, that's why he can't take onto onagers. If he could go for SO, obviously against his longboats he would be super efficient as well. SO just behind the turtle ships line. I believe if Spring goes to pop 200 army, he could be the strongest with his civilization, but look at that, now he's losing so much.
I have the question, why is Spring fighting so heavily in the middle? Because Olaf now is pushing in with all of his caravels. He's gonna get just massacre all of these villagers on this wood line.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised as well. Maybe misreading the situation there, thinking, oh god, late Imperial Age, everyone needs to go for the middle. But 210 years on this map, it wasn't really needed that early.
Kato's going to take control of the middle as well. Spring is trying to get out all these nice expensive units, but he's not going to be able to do any of this if he doesn't have any economy at home.
Take a look, maybe we need to take a look at gold control as well. Teto still has lots of map control, so he will have a lot of gold. Maybe Olaf will run out of gold at one point, but it seems like he has still enough as well.
Well, again, the nice thing about the Portuguese, they do save a little bit of gold on their units, so that is another bonus point for them. And potentially, I don't know if we could see Feitoria, but that is a potential option.
Oh yeah, let's see about that. And now Idefix is pushing in against Teto, who's trying to go for a defensive castle, and Idefix that thinks, okay, I killed 3 units, let's go home again.
Idefix is that one player that we haven't really been talking about too much. It looks like Idefix is trying to go for a raid on Tato, but yeah, again, Tato building that castle, and that's going to be enough to scare Idefix away. I feel like going for the raiding could definitely take out players really quickly if players decide to go for it.
And Olaf now asking, how's the middle? Oh, let's take a look here. Idefix losing a lot of his caravel and a lot of villagers. Teto, nice interception here. But now needs to go back.
This
Like,
map feels. It's hard to
Go
say.
ahead.
This map feels so small with just how there's action across the entire map. It feels like
Yeah,
it's
just-
such a small map.
Just think about it. We played this on 6-player map with only 5 players as well, so it could be even smaller. And look at the resources of Spring. He is completely at the limit and still would love to have all the onager on his old tags here. No range on those mangonels either. Oh god, he isn't using his civilization to full potential only because he had too many enemies, dropping down to pop 150.
Spring is just trying to hold. He's got a whole line of bombard towers on the left side. However, bombard cannon is out from Olaf. In fact, elite bombard. What is it called? Cannon galleon.
Yeah, that would be an option. And let's take a look. Again, Idefix trying to look at the middle. 160 years. And for the first time, we might get into the phase where, yeah, taking control of the monument is actually worth something.
You read the chat, go Drakon, oh wait, you're dead.
Oh, Tato, so evil. And Drakon at home sitting there and microing all his villagers. Oh, yeah, you killed me 5 minutes ago. Sick you don't remember it. And he will be salty for sure. And not really happy with that. Tato going for the burn. And yeah, elite cannon guarantee by Olaf. He even has a +1 defense for his ship, so he's pretty well set up and trying to go for the best tech tree.
Yeah, we're still missing some of the unique upgrades, I believe, for the Portuguese players. I don't see any of the ship armor coming in quite yet.
Okay,
Or actually,
so,
Olaf is missing Korean.
okay, and let's take a look. Lots of demos now here by Tato at the front, killing all the towers, onagers, and villagers. Oh god, they're so efficient. Oi, oi, oi. And Tato going for some traps as well. I believe Spring is soon to be having less pop than Drakon, 53 to 54, and now he's even tapping out here. That's not the same fighting spirit. Look at that Drakon overtaking him.
Well, no one thought Drakon was a threat, so no one's gonna attack Drakon. Spring made a heavy play for the middle, so maybe players were trying to finish him off. We know Olaf has a grudge against Spring now, but now Olaf is free to take over Spring's land and go for the middle now.
Oh man, and Wololok Ice Cream will be so sad here. Spring, he will be like, oh, why is my civilization so weak? Why is the wonder taking so long? I'm not 100% sure if he played this strategically perfect. But, well, he did have some impact in the game, and now we are at the moment only down to 3 players who can really contest and take the win here.
Drakon is getting stronger and stronger, though. I'm still rooting for him. He's up to 60 population now, although he's starting to get raided a little bit by Idefix on the right side by a single galley. In response to that, Drakon is going to drop down some of those Korean guard towers.
Okay, let's take a look. Where are the Korean guard towers? Drakon.
North side base.
Okay, yeah, okay. And he is, getting some more gold for himself. Having a nice food eco here as well. And yeah, quite a nice wood as well. I wouldn't be too surprised if he goes up at some point in this game.
Nili, the chat is asking if you could turn my volume up in TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, the game is now very quiet and used to be very loud. And yeah, should be fine, I believe.
Alright, so the timer's about to go down below 100 years, which means we're going down to crunch time. And Tato looks to have firm control over the middle. The siege rams will be very, very effective. And who is going to contest against Tato right now? Maybe Olaf?
Oh, Drakon is asking the same question. Is there a chance to push him off? Idefix? Olaf? I believe if both of them are trying to attack, they should have a pretty good spot here. But Tato now going for the castle and T-fields. Oh, look at that. Masonry and hoardings as well. He is trying to go for it.
Yeah, I feel like Tato could have a very strong chance here. Olaf is definitely focused on the middle. Idefix is definitely focused on the middle. Oh my god, Idefix has a huge navy. He's got 80 military now, even more than Tato.
Yeah, Tato is around 70, Olaf around 70. Let's take a look now, all the ramps in the front. We see all the demo ships of Tato now, but they're getting killed by the scorpion arrows here, and that was super inefficient.
Yeah, I don't think Tato's dissipating. If they were firing at the rams, they could still fire through them.
Yeah, and at the same time now, Idefix playing it with a lot of bombard towers, bombard cannons, and they will do a lot of damage here against Chateau, and maybe Chateau is going for a bit early here. 85 years for him to go.
Those bombard cannons are so strong, but they're so weak if they get out of position. It's such a heavy investment for Idefix, especially when gold is going to be running out.
Oh, now it's the first time Monument back to 100. First time ever that Olaf and Idefix are actually facing each other here.
Yeah, this is the first time Olaf has seen the middle of this game since he's been so focused on spring.
Oh.
And look at the military count. 60 for Olaf, Idefix at 65, and Tato dropping to 40.
Yeah, and he's getting attacked by 2 players, and those castles will go down. Look at the mass elite cannon galleons here as well. There's no chance for Tato to hold that.
Oh my gosh, but Idefix might lose all of his bombard cannons. There's no more fleet left for Idefix.
Oh, no! At the same time, cannon galleons are getting microed back, so he saved all of them. But yeah, oof, what is Idefix doing here? Tato needs to retreat. And now bombard cannons by Olaf. Oh, bombard cannons by Olaf. This is still super open for all 3 players, I have to say. In the meanwhile, Dracont, well, he is up to pop 90, and he still could rebuild the base in the south as well.
Yeah, Dracont he's moving out to the lumber camp on the left. He's just going to run into Olaf. Space is a huge problem for him. But,
and now the big engagement here, Idefix against Olaf. I believe Idefix has a bit more, but 3 bombard towers around, but they will get turned down by all those bombard cannons around here. And that's a good moment for Tato, because that's the first time he can really lean back and watch other people kill each other.
With Idefix, I feel like he should come forward and start building towers just like all the other players have done. The castles of Tato really helped him out, so I feel like why not Idefix bring some villages forward and build some towers?
Well, maybe he didn't realize it yet, and maybe he feels like, okay, I could just bank all my resources, but he doesn't have any gold anyways. Has a lot of food. 1.5k wood, 3k gold for him in the band, and is now attacking 4 bombard towers, so maybe in the long run that will be his option.
I've been watching Idefix just run ships for the last 15 minutes through 3 towers and a castle of Dracont and not even noticed it.
Oh god, well, yeah, those he cannot really win that fight here. And Dracont getting up to better and better KD here, losing a solid 150 units before, but didn't lose a lot anymore.
He's got a long way to go before he hits 200 and 200.
Yeah. But now let's get super crazy. 80 years only, Idefix, pop 200, 80 military. Is there a chance for him?
I feel like he needs to come forward and add some fortifications. The Tato's going to be rebuilding. He's up to 76 military now, and Olaf also has a sizable army at 60.
Okay, but Olaf is now going for the remain of spring. Tato, let's take a look. His demo ships at the front. They are closing down, and they're getting some damage done, but the rams are coming over a bit late. And those longboats, they aren't too good against the scorpions here.
Yeah, I feel like Tato needs a little bit more help. Olaf's going to come in from the left side. This is the majority of Olaf's navy, and together both of these guys can definitely take out Idefix.
Yeah, it looks like it. Tato is now going in, and now he's spread around, but only 40 military for him. 60, let's take a look, Olaf. I would love to see some walls, some more towers as well. It seems like Olaf should be able to clear up Idefix here, though.
Yeah, so Idefix is going to get kicked off the middle. No other player looks to have, having a solid control of the middle after this is over, because they're going to be exhausting basically most of the military after this fight.
Yeah, less than 150 military units on the map now, so that's the lowest we have seen in the last, I would say, 20 minutes or something. So lots of fighting going on, but still only 50 years, and well, Idefix still has some left, but I believe fighting against 2, now he's even losing all his bombard cannons.
Actually, I think Olaf has had enough. Draconi's actually raiding the caravel in the north and light cavalry in the south now and moving the villagers in the south. Or Dracon. Dracon is up to 115 villagers now, though.
Okay, and that were some big demo shots over here, and I believe now Idefix is retreating 40 years, but he wants to... Oh, actually he's taking this engagement. I believe retreating would have been the better option. Elite Berserks now for Tato even, so maybe he wants to go for some killing on the land as well. And let's take a look at all the ratings here. As you can see, Olaf, as you said, and... Yeah, now finally Dracon is going for turtle ships here. What are we witnessing?
Turtle ship fight, yes. Dracon actually has access to a lot of gold, so... Because he hasn't been using it, of course, because he hasn't any military, but there's tons of gold and stone in the south where he is.
Oh man, yeah, that's so true as well. And trust me, Dracon will have a better army control and better army composition than Spring will have. And Dracon just asking, really? That was probably for Olaf. Red going light cap versus me. Dracon not happy with that, how this game went for him so far. You towered my what you said. All the time crying. Oh god.
Dracon's known for his trash talk, so I think Tato's just gonna give it back to him.
Just wondering if that's a smart thing. Oh, he is so passive aggressive, this guy. Oh man.
It's like Dracon knows something that the other players don't know.
Yeah. 80 years now for Mr. Tato. Trying to go for more castles again, more siege workshops as well. And that's a lot of army here in the middle. Has a lot of rams there. And rams, they will perform pretty nicely. Bomber towers now over. There, I don't see any more cannon galleons here by Olaf, do I? He's now going for mass bombard cannons as well.
It's a very heavy investment, but they are quite effective with the Portuguese unique tech. This raiding is going to clean up Dracon so badly, though, and after this, Olaf could potentially raid Idefix at the side, too.
Oh, in the middle, Tato's losing all his demo ship there. They're super inefficient. The rams now actually taking quite a lot, soaking quite a lot of damage, so, but still, against those masses, they aren't that great. The big problem is, Idefix, he's not really getting up to the numbers at the moment, only at pop 130.
So I'm just laughing at the chat a little bit. Dracon's finally up into the Imperial Age, and he's making some turtle ships too.
Yeah, and he's saying, oh, what's the middle? Trying to tell Olaf, like, leave me alone!
Alright, so it looks like Tato might lose a lot again, going for the middle again. He's got 60 years remaining, however, again, he's 2 versus 1 against the Portuguese players.
Okay, then let's take a look how they're trying to take this here. 55 years. Tato in a good spot to take this. Now has a lot of traps, castles around, going for lots of more demos. He needs to get more rams out there at the middle though. Let's take a look. Demos, how much are they doing against Idefix? Both now trying to go heavily for it. Tato sending in all his demos here. Let's take a look right hand side how good the connections are. Reasonable, I would say.
Yeah, that's pretty even trade, I would say. Demo ships do cost a bit also, but I think it was a little bit worth it for him.
Oh, 45 years only. Oof. Only that Tato had like 3 more siege workshops even closer, or would produce out of all of them. But he is getting through the at the limits of his resources here as well. 1 hour, 8-minute mark, more demos at the front. Can he get the hits against the bombard cannons? It's looking good. 1 demo and get more bombard cannons.
Oh, I love seeing demo ships get bombard cannons as they keel over. It's the best.
Olaf now sending in rams, another castle going down. This is getting so close. 35 years. Tato not having a lot of military left. Look at that. It's mainly rams now. Tato was trying to go for it. Now trying to snipe all those bombard cannons, but so many caravels are around. It looks good for Olaf, and Idefix to clear that up. Tato 30 years, but there's not a lot left for him.
Yeah, Tato's definitely going to lose control of this. I've been keeping track of the market prices. Actually, players have been buying wood and having a lot of trouble getting wood on the map.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Teto still. How is he still only this? Okay, now it changed. Went for some berserks there. Yeah, but now clear up. And it's all reset. Nice team play there by Olaf and Idefix. Obviously, they're coming from different sides, so that's super fortunate for them as well. And yeah, who will win this game? Tell me.
I think Drakon's gonna win this. He has the most gold on his side of the island, and he hasn't used it. I'm gonna go with Drakon. He's fighting back on the north side with turtle ships.
Well, he's at pop 70. He doesn't have elite turtles.
He could do it. He could do it. He's got the turtle ships, man. That's all you need.
Okay. Okay, well, he's still quite cornered. Is he getting much wood? Let's take a look at his resources. Well, he still is getting some in the mid-north here.
This is all part of his strategy. His strategy is just to bank up every resource for the entirety of the match until no one has any gold left, no one has any wood left, and then he's going to own everything at the end.
Well, would be interesting for sure. But... Well, let's take a look. The ram of Tattoo. Can he snipe down a bombard cannon? Bombard cannon? No, he can't. Oof. So your pick is Drakon. I honestly cannot call you crazy. Because it's not like super unrealistic. He's like a very smart mind when it comes to... Yeah, playing those situations out. And just like that he's still in this game showed us like how much he really wants this.
Yeah, the question is, gold is running out really quickly now. We won't have a lot of gold left on the map. There's a little bit in the middle, which is basically inaccessible. But it's up to the players to take that gold, and wood will be running out as well. So once you don't have gold, then you have to go to trash units, and trash units not going to perform well against ships.
Oh, Teto now even at the right-hand side going for the raid. Knowing that, yeah, wood will be out pretty soon as well. Trying to go for some gold raids maybe. And Idefix, not really the player who will go for... Yeah, the great macro play. And boom, take control of the middle, push and defend at the same time.
So Idefix looks to be making a play in the middle. He's going to make a castle here. Idefix up at 65, military, and Olaf at 73. Kato's rebuilding at 40.
Okay, that's a pretty strong army by Olaf, and he is sending in quite a bit, and those capped rams will be pretty strong. Obviously, siege rams a bit better. Conscription now for Drakon. He's really trying to go for it here, and he's getting more and more kills. And yeah, I wanted to say he is with positive KD, but that's still a bit off. And now cast in the middle for Idefix. Could he maybe do this? Only 60 years left here, and Olaf is taking pretty poor engagement at the moment.
I don't think so. I'm going to say that because I see the rams coming in from Olaf, and I see basically nothing to counter the rams. We have a few bombard cannons here, but that's not a whole lot.
Well, they would be good in a big engagement, but Olaf at the moment, he is not producing too much to really fight in the middle. At the moment, the rams are taking damage, yeah, without really getting answered. Tato's now coming over. That's a lot of demos. Let's take a look against Idefix here. He's trying to micro back a bit, and those were great shots, and he will get even more. Oh god, Tato, he's clearing that all up, and now suddenly I will take all the hopes for Idefix back here. And Tato now sniping the bombard cannons. That was super efficient by him.
This is just such a waste. All three players have been just throwing away their units in the middle, holding onto the monument for 50 years, and then just giving it back.
Oh man, what a great map here. I'm super happy that we added this one in this map pool here. And suddenly, Red is the owner of the monument again. Qualifier number 8. We will play for more than $300 in this tournament here. Who will advance? At the moment it feels even 4 players still in the run for it. Drakon at pop 100. That's 30 pop more than Idefix at the moment.
Holy crap, there's 30 pop more than Idefix. What? Wow.
Yeah, well, as I said before, he is not the guy who has the biggest macro. As we've seen several times, his caravels just still going through the towers here of Drakon. And yeah, he's not getting the masses up, and pretty poor with defending all those raids. Especially because he had all his army here in the middle. And no army to defend.
It's really, the players really need to focus on They need to focus on the middle, sure, but they need to focus on taking a lot of these golds that are more closer to the middle. I think that's going to be the most beneficial thing for them, and also these wood lines too.
Yeah, controlling the middle would be so nice, and well, still a lot of bomber towers here up for Olaf, so he is controlling a lot of his area close by, and I believe he can get on a lot of resources. At the moment, I feel, I think Olaf is my favorite.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I think coming in as I think Olaf definitely has a good chance here. It looks like he's going to focus on Drakant for a while here. Drakant still has a bit of gold in his base on the top side, so that's definitely a worthwhile thing for him to focus on. I see 3 gold mines there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he needs to save this. Still no elite turtle ship for him, so that's pretty ugly. But now trying to go for more keeps, trying to defend even longer. Now going for elite war wagons?
What?
What?
No.
That has to be a misclick.
No, don't. I hope that castle gets destroyed before that.
That would be so good for him.
Mistake.
But even then you cannot get elite turtle ship. And elite turtle ship you need to research them in the dock, not in the castle. So that's not a misclick in that regard.
I don't know, I think it's a waste of resources.
And it's like 800 gold as well, right?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Let's take a look.
Well, the castle is gonna... Yeah, it's gonna research it, yeah.
He will finish it, and that's so bad for him. And he feels like, nice, I saved the castle to go for elite war wagons.
Maybe he thought that was elite turtle ship and it works the same, I don't know. Players don't usually make that kind of unit.
Well, that was weird. That was so weird. But now he doesn't have a castle anymore anyway, so...
It's all part of the secret Drakant strategy. That's all what it is.
Okay. Well, that happened. The count now down to pop 90 again. And, yeah, Tato, his next try. And he has a lot of army again in the middle. Let's take a look at his point of view. Not a lot of wood and a lot of gold in the bank. Obviously lost most of the stones because he built a lot of castles over and over again. Now trying to send all his army towards the middle. And that's looking quite strong here. 90 army.
I love what Tato's doing, actually. He's migrated most of his economy to the bottom side where there's plenty of unchopped woods and plenty of unmined golds.
Okay, now having the rams in the front there and hiding all his demos. That's interesting. Oh, let's just go into the point of view of Olaf here, who's now trying to tower the middle as well. 70 years here only for Tato, and that's one of the most clever things he could do. Just have some units there, not really investing, and let's see if he can hold this area.
Drakant's actually going to run to the back of Idefix's base as he gets gutted by Olaf on the top side.
Nobody 41. Did you take a look at the gold count of Olaf here as well?
No, I haven't. Oh my god.
It's 10k gold, but all the caravels at the front will now die against those demos. No chance for him. He's trying to micro back a bit, and that actually went so much better for him. Oh, I thought all of them could die, but Tato with a bit of the miss micro there, and he still gets a lot.
So it looks like the battles have devolved. There's a battle on the north side and a battle on the south side as well. So honestly, in King of the Hill, you normally see just players going for the middle, but we're seeing a lot of raiding at all sides throughout this game since resources are so important. Yeah,
and look at Drakant. Another base at the very top for him, sending another villager out through the base of Idefix. He should have a lot of map vision here. Oh man, he's super active all around. Now Tato at 50 years only though. Maybe Tato can take it.
Shot it this time, I feel like. He's got a lot of rams there. He has a lot of rams there. That's a lot.
Okay,
and
but
it's not so strong either.
Oh, let's take a look. Olaf, 70 military, Idefix only 20. I believe Tato could take this here, 40 years only. There's not a lot against the Rams, as you said. I don't see any more bombers. Cannons in the back, well, 2. But that's not enough.
Yeah, Olaf needs to go right now, and he needs the support of someone. I don't know who that person is. We have Idefix massing up some caravels. He needs to go now.
Oh, but Teto cannot really patrol in. There has some towers at the front. We can push him off. Dracon is saying GG well played. Now with Pop 90, that's a weird moment for him.
No!
So now we're down officially to 3. And let's take a look. Still 30 years here. What can Teto do? He has so many rams here in the middle. It's looking pretty strong for him. Idefix still camping at home. He's not sending in his army. That's so unfortunate for all of them. Can Teto do it here?
I think Teto can do it. Here comes the navy of Idefix. Idefix is going to come from the north. We need something to take down the siege rams, though.
Yeah, that's not a lot, and Teto still producing more rams. He's going for more demos as well, and that's a lot of longboats still. Let's take a look. Demos trying to do the damage against the caravels, and they will close down the distance, getting some good hits here. That's so good for him, and suddenly he is looking at only 20 years, and that's a lot of HP here at the monument. I believe he can do it.
Those demo ships cleaning up half of the navy of Olaf. Oh my god. And then Idefix coming in from the north. Again, nothing to take up those rams. I think Teto might have it.
Oh, he's looking so good. He doesn't have any more firepower. Look at that. He has 50 military. They're trying to focus this down. Finally, light cav around. So that's something. If he had like 20, 30 more light cav, that would be so good. 12 more years. They're trying to focus down everything. Teto, he will lose all of this, but will it be before or after the year's end?
Only 9 years remaining? It's gonna be a little bit close, but I think Tato's gonna pull it out here.
7 years. It looks good for him. We need to see more army. Where was the light cav? If we saw 5 more light cav, it would have been so much better. Only 3 years. He will lose all the rams. Let's take a look. It's still very close. 2 more years. He has no more fighting power. 1 year, and it seems like some rams are surviving for him. Teto will take it. GG.
GG, wow, what an awesome game. Wow, what a great game.
Oh boy. Teto popped 90 in the end, and those rams, and they didn't have a lot of HP anymore in the end, and he is going into the finals here, King of the Hippo number 4. Nobody thought he won.